Former Finance Minister Janardhan Sharma is likely to get a clean chit in the infamous tax tweak controversy as the panel probing Sharma's involvement in the case has failed to gather foolproof evidences to implicate him. The CCTV footage of May 28 on the eve of budget presentation has been dubbed unclear, while the footage of the Singhadarbar gate has been reported missing. This, according to analysts, was bound to happen, and the probe committee is just a proverbial elephant's teeth to cover up the incident. Good morning, I'm Abheudaya Shrestha, and these are the headlines of the hour. Prime Minister Shrestha indifferent towards ensuring efficiency of ministerial portfolios, budget implementation and formulation of laws affected. Parliamentary committees also dysfunctional. Actual inflation in the market more than twice the government estimates. Nepal Rashtra Bank's survey says inflation stands at 14%. Regulating and monitoring entities remain passive. 3 United Nations peacekeepers and at least 12 civilians killed during a second day of violent anti-UN protests in Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo. And the English Lionesses storm into the Euro 2022 finals as they put 4 past Olympic finalist Sweden. Second semi-final between Germany and France tonight. The government's role in ensuring good governance, spending budget, easing service delivery, formulating laws and monitoring has been in question as ministries responsible for these tasks have been inefficient. The executive head of the country, Prime Minister Shrestha, and even the parliamentary committees have both remained indifferent in this regard. The government has failed to meet the development expenditure target for 3 consecutive years. The development expenditure stood at 57% last year, while the trade deficit has begun equaling the government's annual budget, as plans to increase productivity have remained limited to documents. Meanwhile, budget implementation has failed to gain momentum as the Finance Ministry has been without a minister for 3 weeks now after former Finance Minister Janardhan Sharma resigned over allegations that he involved unauthorized individuals during budget formation. The Finance Secretary has also failed to perform as per expectations. Likewise, the government has yet to form laws related to civil service due to clashes between the Prime Minister and the Federal Affairs and General Administration Minister, which has affected staff management at all 3 tiers. The concerned minister himself has expressed grievances over the ministry's inability to deliver. Elsewhere, the Ministry of Labour and Employment has prepared dozens of programs with the aim of training and employing over 700,000 youths. However, most of the programs have been limited to papers. Likewise, the Ministry of Industry, Commerce and Supplies has also failed to play a significant role in curbing inflation. The Ministries of Education, Health and Population, Fiscal Infrastructure, Urban Development, Energy and Drinking Water have also failed to deliver. The general public are still having to wait for long duration before getting their national identity cards, passports, and driving licenses. It's time now for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
Public Pulse.
Here's the question. What has led to the federal government's inefficiency? Your options are A. Inactive Prime Minister, B. Prioritizing interests over responsibilities, and C. Lack of coordination. The voting is on. Type NEWS, select your option A, B or C and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. Nepal's cybersecurity has been time and again criticized as incidents of cyber breach have been reported every now and then, while financial institutions have been an easy target for cybercrime networks. To add to it, many foreign forces have been found using Nepal as a ground for illegal cyber activities, the recent one being the operation of a call center in the capital itself to carry out extortions on individuals in third countries. On Monday, the Nepal police raided a house in the capital's Tinkune that was used by a company under the name Sky World Service. 2 floors of the house, owned by Nepalese citizen Vijay Shrestha, had 1,100 computers for call center service. However, the call center was, according to the police, being used for carrying out extortions. It has been understood that the call center was established with an investment of a Chinese and 2 Indian nationals, among others. The call center had been used by loan sharks to demand for their loan repayment from individuals who had taken loans from mobile applications in India like Fast Loan, Coco, and Easy Loan, among others. Applicants with weak financial situation apply for loans of between 20 to 30,000 Indian rupees against their voter ID cards. The company reportedly reduces 36% of the total loan amount upfront as commission and provides loan for a period of 1 week. The Nepal police says the company has provided loan to over 50,000 people in India. The call center in Nepal had been used to call the customers demanding for repayment. A similar company was found in operation in Rupandehi, where 150 individuals had been employed to call and threaten clients for loan clearance. On Sunday itself, the Cyber Bureau of Nepal Police had arrested a criminal group from the capital's Dhumbarai that was responsible for stealing money from bank accounts of 86 Americans and 13 Canadians. It may also be recalled that the Nepal police had arrested and deported 122 Chinese nationals for operating cyber network in the capital some 3 years ago. All these incidents shed light on the weak cybersecurity of the country, raising a call on the authorities to strengthen the country's cybersecurity to avoid a more catastrophic situation in future. The government commitment to provide some respite to the consumers to curb inflation has been limited to assurances. Price of consumable goods have increased at a higher rate than expected. Despite Nepal Rashtra Bank's claim of average inflation standing at 8.5%, the reality paints a scary picture. While real inflation is likely to have crossed 14%, the government has not made any effort to curb it. The consumers have been at the receiving end, as the regulating authority has also remained indifferent. Nepal Rashtra Bank's data from the 11 months of the previous fiscal year show that inflation has reached 8.5% in Nepal. However, a report made public by the Nepal Rashtra Bank on Monday states that the consumers feel the actual inflation is around 14%. The alarming rise in inflation has made it difficult for the public to make ends meet. Even in such a situation, instead of making efforts to curb inflation, the government has been sheltering behind pretexts, including the international political scenario. Inflation has exceeded twice the limit set by the Nepal Rashtra Bank. The government was not able to keep inflation under its target of 6.5% in the previous fiscal year. With traders increasing price of goods, the government has remained indifferent towards curbing inflation, and the regulating and monitoring authorities have remained inactive. Meanwhile, saying that its single effort for monitoring could not bring the changes, the Department of Commerce, Supplies and Consumer Protection has also been avoiding responsibilities. The government has also been attributing the alarming rise in inflation to the international political scenario, including the ongoing Russia-Ukraine war. In our Public Voice segment, we had asked what should be done to curb inflation. Let's take a look at what they had to say.
Public Voice.
शिक्षा स्वास्थ्य रोजगार जस्ता कुराहरुमा सरकारले ध्यान दिएको छैन
जनतालाई भयभरको कर लगाएको छ
खासै जनतामुखी छैन
कामको सिलसिलामा हेर्ने हो भने शून्य देखिन्छ
आफ्ना मान्छेहरुलाई मात्रै जागिर दिने मात्र भयो
जनताको दुःख पीडा एकतिर छ भने हाम्रो व्यवहार एकतिर हो
कार्यकर्ता पाल्ने काम र यताउति घुम्ने काम मात्र गर्छ
दलहरुका चाहिँ कार्यकर्ताहरुलाई भर्ती केन्द्र बनाएर
With the objective of reviving the tourism sector, which has been severely hit by the coronavirus pandemic, the government has put forward the plan of tourism decade from 2023 to 2033. However, with the government yet to formulate concrete plans for identification of new destinations and promotions, the slogan of decentralizing tourism has been limited to formality. Despite the rich natural and cultural diversity, Nepal has not been able to reap benefits because of lapses in promotions. With inadequate efforts for identification of tourist destinations, development of infrastructures and promotion, several destinations in eastern Nepal, the Tarai region and Karnali and Sudur Pashchim provinces have remained ignored. Ilam, Kanchenjunga Conservation Area, Panchthar and Taplejung could emerge as new destinations. Ruru Resung, Bardia, Badi Malika, Suklafanta, Khaptar, Rara, Dolpa, Gokyo Lake, Pachal Waterfall, Sinjao Valley and Chandannath have yet to be promoted as well. The local residents and the private sector appear more active than the government in promoting tourism in Nepal. The government has been limited to promoting Kathmandu, Pokhara, Chiton, Lumbini, mountain expeditions and trekking to draw foreign tourists. Because of this, the government has been facing criticisms of failure in decentralizing tourism in Nepal. The entire tourism sector of Nepal, like other countries in the world, has suffered massive losses as foreign tourists did not travel because of the restrictions imposed to curb the coronavirus pandemic. Banks have invested 158 billion rupees in hotels and 24 billion rupees in trekking and mountaineering sector. There is a clear lapse in coordination among the three tiers of the government for development of tourism in the country. With support from the federal government, provinces and the local levels can assist in identification of new destinations. And it's time now for the sports news.
Sports news.
Nepal take on Sri Lanka in the Under-20 SAF Championship later this evening. The match at the Indian city of Bhubaneswar is slated for 7:15 kickoff Nepal time. Two-time champion Nepal will be gunning for the second win of the tournament when they take on Sri Lanka. In the tournament opener, Nepal had crushed Maldives 4-0 on Monday. The goal scorers for Nepal in the inaugural match were Abhishek Gurung, Sugam Suwal, Kritish Ratna Choju and Managya Nagarmi. Nepal coach Meghraj Kesi said that his boys will give continuity to their match-winning performance in the match this evening. Sri Lanka, on the other hand, were defeated by Bangladesh with a 1-0 scoreline. There are 5 participating teams in the tournament, with the top 2 teams from the round-robin league qualifying for the finals. That's all for the moment. Thank you for watching. Have a good day.